What's going on, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome to a brand new and updated Shaddoll train deck profile. Shaddoll rank 10 trains, whatever you want to call it. Post Infinity Chases, of course. We did get some decent support for this deck via the Infinitrack monsters. I wanted to get to this profile a lot sooner, but I wasn't quite happy with the original build that I had thought up in my head. You know, a build I sort of had outlined for post Infinity Chases with the new Infinitrack stuff. The build didn't quite play out like I thought it would. You know, found out through some of the testing we had on stream. But with a few reworks, I've got the build in a really solid spot. And I don't have a side deck IRL, but I do have a side deck up on my online build. I'll run through that afterwards just so I can give you guys a basic side deck rundown for this particular build. Also, real quick shout out, as always, to our sponsor over at Imperium Duelist, providing some amazing gaming accessories like these beautiful purple, great purple non-effect sleeves, tournament ready, YCS, regional, wherever. Right now, these are probably hands down my favorite. I love the color. The great purple is very nice, and they shuffle like absolute butter. Same thing can be said with these, but of course with the new sleeve rule being clearly made now, these can't be played at YCSs and regionals, but for casual play, they'll do just fine, or even at your locals, depending on how strict your locals is with rulings like that. If you want to pick up some of these, though, these are the Charm Effect sleeves in Carnage Red. Hopefully they'll make some non-effect red sleeves as well, because I really do love the color. This vibrant red looks very, very nice on some Link monsters and Synchros as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the profile. And to start, of course, we're playing rank 10 trains, so we've got to have some big trains in this deck, starting with the Double Knight Express Knight. Now, with the new Infinitrack monster being in here, one of the new Infinitrack monsters at least, Anchor Drill, I wanted to cut down on our normal summons a little bit, and starting with Knight Express Knight I felt was one of the main priorities to cut down on, because I didn't want to open up too many normal summons in my opening hand. I wanted to open up some extenders, more extenders, I should say, than normal summons, like cards like Derek Crane and Bullet Express Train. So I wanted to cut this card down to 2, because this card is only good when you have another level 10 to hit the board with it, like your Express or your Derek Crane or your Exodius, whatever it may be, or Shaddoll, you know, fusion monster like Shaq. So 2 Knight Express Knight. Then we have triple Super Express Bullet Train, the End Phase Searcher. Not Searcher, I should say, but adds back a machine monster from your graveyard during the end phase that it was sent there. So this helps recycle a lot of your resources. More importantly, helps recycle your extra deck monsters to recycle back your Super Dreadnought Gustav Max, or your number 81, or your Juggernaut Leave, to help put those back in your extra deck for, you know, a grind game, if you will. Or add back cards like Derek Crane or Knight Express Knight back to your hand for your follow-up play next turn. So now moving on, we have triple Heavy Freight Train Derek Crane. Had to pick up the super rares. I'm so excited this card got rarity bumped. It's such a nice looking super rare. Better than I expected. I don't know really what I was expecting, but it looks pretty good out of the old Infinity Chasers. But this guy, basically, if an Earth Machine monster is normal special summon, you can special summon from your hand, but his original attack and defense are halved. And then his really good effect is if he's detached from an Xyz monster and sent to the graveyard, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. So get the old detach, and you pop a card as well, which helps play into the OTK. And also this guy, you basically just special summon him for free if all other monsters you control, monsters you control, period, are Earth Machine monsters. So these guys just get on the field super easily. So you can normal summon Knight Express Knight, trigger your Derek Crane, and then afterwards special summon the Bullet Express, and you're ready to go. So those are the level 10 Earth Machines. Then we have 3 Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede. This is like the Altair of the deck, if you will. If you're familiar with Satellar Knights, you'll know what I mean by that. So basically, with this guy, if he's normal or special summon, he can target an Earth Machine monster in your graveyard except himself, and special summon in defense. But its effects are negated. Then it has the other effect where it can target one other face-up monster you control. The level of that monster or this card becomes the level of that of the other. You cannot declare attacks the turn that you activate this card except with the Xyz monsters, and you can only use each effect of Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede once per turn. So the fact that you can only attack with Xyz monsters is not too big of a deal. That's really what you're going to be doing in most cases. But basically, if you have, per se, these 2 guys in the field, you summon this and then summon this out of grave off his own effect. You can use the effect, target him, and then these guys both become the level of this guy. So they're both going to become level 10 So it's a nice level modification on the part of the Pegasus Railroad Stampede, so very, very helpful. Then we have 2 Ruffian Railcar. This guy really doesn't do too much other than the fact that he searches your deck for a level 10 Earth Machine during the end phase that he was sent to the graveyard. So a primary discard target off of our field spell, and a primary Link Fodder target or a Shaddoll Fusion target. Just get that end phase search, because this deck really does need those end phase recursions to be able to help keep up, especially off cards like Express and your Ruffian Railcar here, because the fact that you can sort of recover during the end phase to be able to make a follow-up next turn is very, very important. Then next we have 2 Infinitrack Anchor Drill. So this is one of the newer cards from the Infinity Chaser set that is, I think, pretty helpful with this deck. It's the only Infinitrack I'm playing in the main deck. I was considering Harvester and Tunneler. I just really don't like Harvester in here. I was trying a build that was more Infinitrack heavy, playing 3 Drill, 3 Harvester, and 3 Tunneler, just to try that cohesion of maybe a little bit more dominant of a Infinitrack engine, and it just wasn't working for me. Didn't really have much time to test that build, although in theory, I just don't think it'll be better than this one, because they just don't fit too well with this deck, I think, a lot of the other Infinitracks. The only one I might consider myself playing would be a one of Tunneler, simply because it has the effect where you can banish from your graveyard to recycle Earth Machines in your graveyard back to the deck and then draw 2. I might consider that, but I think this card does just a bit of a better job for the time being, and it's a level 10, so I don't know. For now, I'll probably keep them out of the main deck and just stick with this guy. But basically, his effect is if he's normal or special summon, you can special summon 1 Earth Machine monster from your hand in defense position and accept itself. And then it has another effect where you can target one other machine you control. The levels of both that monster and this card become the combined original levels of those 2 monsters. So that effect we won't really use too much in this deck, but this guy is really nice because he's just an extra extender. You can normal summon him, and then you special summon this guy out of your hand, and then you summon something out of the grave, and then you summon a Derek Crane or a Bull Express, and all of a sudden you got 4 monsters on your field just like that. So I really like the Anchor Drill. I think 2 of is just fine. Then we have 2 Exodius. Recycling all your resources is so crucial. I had a game on stream where I literally had like no monsters left in my main deck except for this one. I top deck it, recycle literally everything, and I was able to go for game because of that, because it recycled all the extra deck monsters I needed and just got me to the victory. Then next we have 1 Shaddoll Dragon, 1 Shaddoll Beast, and 1 Glow Up Bulb. Because we do play Nat Beast in here, and that is a pretty good card, I heard, especially when you have to go first. So I wanted to have the option to be able just to foolish this. And his effective mill card can be pretty useful if you mill a Ruffian Railcar or a Bullet Express Train. And then I only wanted to play 2 Shaddolls. I didn't want to play too many Shaddolls. I think these 2 are fine. Extra draw, and then just removal of a Floodgate or something. So they're very, very helpful in their own right. So that's it for the machines, the Earths, the Shaddolls. Next we have some hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom, and 2 Ghost Ogre. I wanted to play some more hand traps in here as opposed to Floodgates in the main deck, because I wanted to play this as a die-hard going second deck, and I felt like hand traps fit pretty well in here. Ogre's nice to clear things off the field for the OTK, and Ash is just Ash. Stopping cards are, really, really good. I also consider Droll and Lockbird for that, stop them dead in the water play, but I feel like Droll is not the best in, most situations like Ash Blossom is. Onto the spells now. We have 3 Urgent Schedule. This card is probably one of the best cards in the deck. All this card is like really expensive right now. I don't know why. I hate when random cards like this that are not for like super meta decks are super expensive, just because of availability, I guess. But the fact is, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower and 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck in defense position, but negate their effects, and you cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this effect except with machine monsters. And then if the set card is destroyed, basically, sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. So if they destroy it while it's set, you get a plus off of it, and if it goes off, you just get to summon 2 monsters from your deck for free. I usually like to summon out Ruffian Railcar and Bullet Express or Derek Crane, depending on which cards I have in my hand, just because you get the Ruffian Railcar out of the deck to be able to link away with, and get a search in the end phase to help keep your engine going. This card's just busted. Even if you're going first and you see this card, you can just set it. with your field spell up, and then play this, summon your 2 things, this triggers the field spell, and then you get another monster on board, and that's just more cards they have to deal with trying to get through. And if they get rid of them, it usually means end phase searches, because you're having a Bullet Express resolve or a Ruffian Railcar resolve. Very, very powerful card. Then we have 3 Revolving Switchyard. Basically, this card's got a couple neat effects. The one effect I would say is really, really good for going first. The other effect's really, really good for going second. The first one, it says, if a level 10 Earth Machine monster is normal or special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can activate this effect. Your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of its turn, even if this card leaves the field. Also, you special summon 1 level 4 Earth Machine type monster from your deck with 1800 more attack, and if you do, it becomes level 10. So a lot of times when you just see a card like Night Express Tonight, you can just normal it and then trigger the field spell to be able to special summon out either your Ruffian Railcar, your Stampede, or your Anchor Drill out of your deck and be able to get their effects off. It's just really nice. It helps set up better first turn boards. And the other effect is, basically, you can set a card from your hand to the graveyard, add level 10 Earth Machine type monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use one or the other effect. You can't use them both in the same turn. It's not too big of a deal. This field spell is really, really good, especially once we get the new Link monster, the Doubleheader Anger Knuckle. That'll make this card even better, just because of Anger Knuckle's ability to be able to tribute things during your turn, to be able to summon himself out of the graveyard to trigger this instead of just off a special schedule or urgent schedule. All around, just a card you definitely have to play at 3. Triple Shaddoll Fusion, of course, for the Shaddoll engine. Double Terraforming, double Called by the Grave, because I just didn't have room for the 3rd one. 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Monster Reborn. So I completely dropped the Floodgates out of this deck, mainly because they were just annoying to open, and especially when I was going second. Like, I always wanted to blind going second, just because you'd be surprised how many times the classic Derek Crane off the Gustav Max for 2,000 pop a card and then just go in with a 6,000 attack Juggernaut lead per game happened. It just happens a lot, and a lot of times your opponent doesn't expect it. It's just a free win. So I didn't want Floodgates in my opening hand slowing me down from not seeing combo pieces, and that's why I'm currently siding a lot of the Floodgates, because I feel like they just work better in the side deck for me personally. I would rather not main Rivalries and Gozens and Skill Drains and things like that. I'd rather just leave them in the side deck. Alright, so now we'll go into the extra deck. We have 2 El Shaddoll Shekanaga, of course, the level 10 Earth Machine you can get off of your Fusion. Very, very nice. Gotta play it. And then 1 Nat Beast for the only Synchro, because, of course, we are playing the Glow Up Bulb. We are playing quite a few level 4 Earth monsters, like Ruffian Railcar, Stampede, and Anchor Drill, so this is pretty much a no-brainer in my opinion. Although I wasn't keen on playing it, it's just really, really strong, and I'd rather not pass it up. Then we have the Spider package here. While it's not something that comes up all the time, since we don't have Doubleheader Anger Knuckle, I needed extra room, and this was the only package I felt that fit. So the 35 Ravenous, the number 84, and the number 77, 7 Sins. This card you can make actually with 2 level 12s if you play Harvester in the main deck. Although I just didn't like maining Harvester just for this play, because you can use Harvester's effect to target another level 10 and make them both level 12, be able to go into 7 Sins, which is okay sometimes, but most times you'd just rather go into this card instead. And actually go for game. But like I said, maybe some point I'll play like 1 Harvester and 1 Tunneler in the main deck, although sometimes they can just break really, really badly and they just don't fit too well in my opinion. Like I said, I might try a more Infinitrack heavy build in the future. However many Infinitracks that means in the main deck, I don't know, but just right now I like just the double anchor. And just being able to go into this off of this is fine enough for me. Then we have 2 Juggernaut Leaves. This is your win con, so I think playing 2 is fine. Then we have 2 Rail Cannon Super Dora. Basically, the rank 10 you go into when you can't OTK. You just sit on this and wall up. And then basically you can detach and target 1 face-up monster in the field. It's unaffected by card effects except its own. So you just put this thing in defense. It's a 4,000 wall that they're going to have a very, very hard time getting rid of. Unless they have something that has more than 4,000 attack. And most of the times they're going to have to worry about a Derek Crane pop, because you're really going to want this thing to have Derek Crane underneath it to get the most value out of it. So yeah. Next we have the Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Basic detach, burn for 2,000. I really only wanted to play 1 of these cards because I just wanted room for other things, and I felt like this is one of those lower priority monsters you go into. This, in theory, you should only ever need once, because you go into it, burn for 2,000, summon this guy over top of it, detach, this thing goes up to 6k, and it can attack twice, or just attack directly for 6k, and that's game right there. 2,000 plus 6,000 is 8,000. So I think just one of these is fine, and you can recycle it with Mrs. Radiant and your Bullet Express train, so it's very easy to get back. Next for the links, we have 2 Clifford Genius. Clifford Genius is very, very nice. The simple fact that you can just like negate your field spell on anything on their side of the field, or just negate your Bullet Express liner and anything on their field, to be able to get that extra 3k attack is very, very helpful. And also when you side deck your floodgates in, you can use this to turn off your floodgates if you need to, and then just be able to play freely. It's just such a nice card here in the main deck. Just takes 2 machines, and just really strong overall. 1 Mrs. Radiant. It's not a machine monster, so it kind of sucks in that matter, but the simple fact that you can make this after like maybe an unsuccessful OTK or whatever, maybe they had something you didn't expect, you just link into this, get your end phase searches, and if they kill this, you get something back off of it, so can't really go too wrong with that. And then lastly, 1 Infinitrack Goliath. So this is the link 1 Infinitrack. It's 1 non-link Infinitrack monster to make, and then if it says it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target an Xyz monster you control, attach this card to that card as material, and then that monster cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has this as material. So you basically can make your Juggernaut unable to be destroyed by card effects. Same thing with your Lieb, or not your Lieb, but your Dreadnought, or your just Gustav Max. So it comes up quite a bit when you open the Anchor Drill, but I think just 1 in the main deck is fine for now. So that's going to be it for this train deck profile. If you guys enjoyed, if you did, be sure to drop me a like down below. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll be trying to get some more duels with this deck up very, very soon. I really, really do like this deck. I think it's pretty budget as well, which is nice, minus the urgent schedules, which for some reason are just really, really expensive. Not much you can do about that for the time being, I guess. And but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did, be sure to drop me a like I said, join Discord, follow me on Twitch, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one.